you, my family and friends. Wow, I'm a little tired tonight. Let me tell you, I literally just did this. What I'm telling you is, I laid some of this video together last night, and I was planning on doing the commentary tour today, but I wound up. My brother Larry needed some help. We wound up. I helped him with some things, and then we wound up going out and hitting some beers and having a good time. And I got home and I thought, you know what, I should finish that because it's really important. I think this video is very important actually. And so I did that. And then when I went to upload it, I had a computer problem and I lost, not the whole video, thank God, but I lost all of my commentary to it, which I'm doing now. So yeah, there's my mindset right now. I'm kind of pissed about that, but oh, well, there's a lot worse things in the world, including what we're about to watch. Listen, we can talk about all the cognitive difficulties with Joe Biden and all that bullshit. We've known that for forever, right? I mean, all that nonsense. Everybody's doing videos on that. Let's do a video on something really important. And a lot of people bitch, I haven't had a video out in like a little over a week. Well, I'm a pretty busy guy. I don't make a living off of this. I don't make $1 off of this. I just do this to bring information to you, that maybe you don't have and that I think is important. And really, everybody's been so happy on YouTube because they have so much to talk about. About what? Like Joe Biden lost the debate? Like we didn't know that was going to happen? Who the hell cares? But this is really important. I think we're seeing, if you're familiar with the word false flag, I think we've just seen that happen over in Ukraine. And let's get into it. Just, listen, I'm going to comment. I never shut the hell up. You know that. So, and please, send me your comments. Tell me if I'm right. Tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if you think I'm an asshole. It doesn't matter. You can't offend me. I can care less. I was going to say we're on the verge of World War III. We're not on the verge. We're in World War III, and I want it to stop before it escalates. And how do you feel about that? Do you think World War III is awesome, or maybe, we should pull back from that, and, just not, maybe kill everyone on Earth. But I don't know. Let's see what our illustrious leader thinks. That didn't work when I tapped it.
Ukraine can stop Putin if we stand with Ukraine and provide the weapons. They're not asking.
Ukraine cannot defeat Russia. Just to be clear. Anyone who thinks Ukraine can defeat Russia is either massively misinformed, lying, or a moron. Ukraine cannot defeat Russia. This will be good old Joe dragging the rest of the world into it instead of picking up the phone and, maybe trying to put an end to it, which, by the way, he has not done yet. He has not. The leader of the United States of America. Please understand this. The president of the United States of America has not picked up the damn phone and spoken to Putin. Shocking? Yeah. Check into it. He hasn't done it. I'm not bullshitting you. He literally hasn't bothered. Millions of people are dying. He hasn't picked up the
for American soldiers. In fact, there are no American soldiers in war in Ukraine, and I'm determined to keep it that way. But now,
how many times have we been told that in history? Do you know anything about history? How many times have we been told that? There'll be no Americans there. There will be Americans there if this continues. I assure you, there will be. Your children will be there. And they may very well even be here, as bad as this is getting, for the first time in history. We may be under attack. But even if we're not, is it okay with you that their children are dying? That Ukrainians' families are being torn to shreds, lit on fire? That Russian people are dying? Do you think the Russian people want to be at war any more than you would or I would? People are the same. For the most part. Not all, I suppose you could argue that. But in theory, I assure you, the Russian mothers and fathers don't want their children to die. The Ukrainian mothers and fathers don't want their children to die. And you and I don't want our children to die. Nor do we want ourselves to be blown to shreds. But, Joey here, Joey, get him, Joey. He is so confident. He is so cool. He's like ready to be on the front lines as long as he's nowhere near the front lines. But this shit, he'll send everybody else.
Assistance to Ukraine is being blocked by those who want to walk away from our world leadership.
He literally said, did you hear the trip up there? I'm not going to bother making this so long that I have to keep going back. You go back there a couple seconds. He literally said from our world war, and he caught himself. Even this moron is able to catch himself every once in a while. He was literally going to say, walk away from our world war. I mean, I fully believe that because that's what they want. Because it's all about that one world order. This is all about the one world order. Russia stands in their way. Oh, they're going to bring Finland in too. That's great. He talks about that in a minute. That's another red line for Russia. The United States of America has, listen, I love the United States of America. My family has fought for this country. I love this country. But I don't love what we're doing now. I don't love what these people think it stands for. I love what I think it stands for, and probably what you think it stands for. Not with these people. I can't wave their flag. I can't wave their flag. Can you? Can you say, let's just keep starting fucking wars?
Wasn't long ago when a Republican president named Ronald Reagan thundered, Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. Now.
Can you imagine the nerve of this asshole trying to steal that amazing line of Ronald Reagan's? Ronald Reagan was not talking about any, listen, I can't give you a history lesson right now. Not that you need it. Maybe you can give me one. But he sure as shit wasn't talking about a situation like this. They're not comparative situations. They're not comparative at all. Who the hell is he to take that line? Who the hell does he think he is? This asshole is looking for war.
Now my predecessor, a former Republican president, tells Putin, quote, do whatever the hell you want.
Please find me that quote. Clearly he's talking about Donald Trump. Donald Trump told Putin, do whatever the hell you want. I can't find that quote. I cannot find it. Now, let's be very clear. A quote is in quotations. It is the words a person said. Please find me that quote. Please send me that video clip. If he did, if Trump said that, I want to know that because I don't believe he did. I can't find it anywheres. And also, please send it to me in context. If there's something before it or after it, I want to know what that is. Because, yeah, that's another lie. That's bullshit. And by the way, Trump's an egomaniac, and I love Trump. I support Trump. I do. But I know he's an egomaniac. He would never tell anybody to do whatever the hell they want. Why would he say that? I mean, that is completely the adverse of Trump's attitude. Trump's attitude is usually do whatever the hell he wants. He's going to say that to Putin? It's dumb as shit. It's dumb as shit. Please find me the clip. You can't because it doesn't exist. In other words, this asshole just made that up.
That's a quote. America is a founding member of NATO, the military alliance of democratic nations created after World War II to prevent war and keep the peace. And today, we've made NATO strong.
there's a little bit of truth in that. When NATO was formed, it was allegedly, historically believed that it was to prevent war, that it was so one nation couldn't rise up and go against the world, as we saw in World War II. That was basically the plan, supposedly, although I don't know any. I honestly, I don't believe anything anymore. I don't believe anything. But that's not what it is anymore. It's not what it is anymore. Now it's more about this one world order, that will destroy you and your family and destroy all of us. And there will be this small group, this very, very thin line, I can't get my fingers close enough to show how small it would be, of elites at the top, and everyone else in the world, the entire world, will be the peasants. That's what it's about. It's a totally different thing nowadays. And by the way, they're the ones escalating the war. No one, like I say, our illustrious president hasn't placed one phone call to Putin and said, hey, what can we do to solve this? Diplomacy as opposed to carnage and death. Children being blown to shreds, little things like that. He doesn't have time for a phone call. And NATO's done nothing but perpetuate. And of course, Joe here is going to give more weapons, because that's what the world needs. More weapons. We need more people being blown up, don't we? What else can we do? Shit. The thought of, having a conversation and saying, hey, can we fix some things? Let's bring Finland in too, because, when we tried to bring Ukraine into NATO, that's what started this, right? You didn't know that? Oh, yeah, that's exactly what started this. Just like the United States of America wouldn't let Russia put, nuclear missiles in Cuba, and we had the Cuban Missile Crisis, and right now we wouldn't let them put it in Mexico, because, you don't let your, other superpowers, potential enemies, put missiles, right up against your head. Yeah, but, Putin's the bad guy, Biden's the great guy. Does that even matter? Does that even matter to you? Listen, I don't know Putin. I know enough about him that I don't think he's a very nice guy. But does it even matter to you whether he's a nice guy or not? Do you give a shit? I don't. Do you think the people of Russia, mothers and fathers with their children that have barbecues just like you do and want to just, live their lives, do you think they're probably like you and I are? Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. They're just human beings. So are the people in Ukraine. It's our leaders that love this war bullshit. You know why? Because it makes them very wealthy. And by the time it's over, they're the only ones that survive. And what's left of us, we have to beg them for food. You're being scammed. Your little Ukraine friend, it was jerk-off thing to do in the first place. Yeah, you voted for this, not me.
Stronger than ever. Welcome Finland to the alliance last year. And just this morning, Sweden officially joined, and their minister is here tonight.
2 more countries in the war. World War III. Oh my gosh, are we missing any countries? Can we get any more involved? World War III is going to be awesome. World War II, we didn't have all the countries. World War III is going to have them all. This is great. Get them, Joey. Fuck. I'm not going to show the horror shit that I found, the real horror, but I'll just show what I think's appropriate to show here. But do you want to see this? I know you don't. I don't want to see this. Is this okay in Ukraine? Is this okay in Russia? Is this okay in Finland or wherever the fuck? No, it's not okay. It's not okay. We don't want to see this. I don't want to see this anymore. All right? I want to see this end. I want people to stop dying, which is what somebody else said, interestingly enough, who's running for president. By the way, I spoke with someone tonight, my buddy Larry, my brother Larry, and he knows a little bit about the military. Having been a battle-born Marine, true war hero, actually. And he said there's some interesting facts about this missile attack that, Russia just bombed the children's hospital because, Putin was sitting there and he's like, hey, can we bomb a children's hospital? Which, of course, is the dumbest thing you could ever think anyone would do. Because whatever you think of Putin, he's obviously intelligent, and that wouldn't be good, right? I mean, like, he doesn't want other nations getting against him. He doesn't want, more people, pissed at him and his name. It just doesn't make sense, right? So, if this missile came from Russia, which I thought it did, but I thought, it's fucking war, right? You blow up cities and there's hospitals in them. It's a horrible thing, beyond horrifying, but that's what happens. This is what war is. War is horrifying. War is horrible. But then, Larry said that, the missile came in from the wrong direction. Well, that's odd, right? Then he said that the missile appears to have been built in a different way with the wings on it or something. Listen, I'm not trying to be an expert on missiles here, right? But not of Russian origin. The missile appears to have been not of Russian origin. Huh. So that would make it a NATO missile that actually hit the hospital. Now, I'm not verifying that. If you know anything more about that, please let me know. But the person I was talking to knows a lot about this shit. And he said that he believes it was, well, since we're such a part of NATO, according to, our illustrious leader, one of our missiles. False flag? Do you know what false flag means? This will be used. These types of things will be used to escalate this war and to put your children over there. No American citizens, no boots on the grass. No boots on the grass. How many times has that been said in history? No boots on the grass. Until we send hundreds of thousands of boots on the grass, right? Wake up. Look at this woman. Look at this woman. Whatever she saw, she'll never get over. Whatever losses she incurred, she'll never get over. Does she want this war to end? Do you think if you asked her right now, can we end the war tomorrow? Would you like that? Do you think she'd say, we need more weapons? Or do you think she'd say, let's stop killing each other? I'm asking you. Do you want to send more weapons? With your little flag pin, I support Ukraine. You want to send them more money for more weapons? Or do you want to see a diplomatic solution so people can stop dying? So mothers and fathers don't have to go home without their children and never see them again. Or children lose both their parents and wander through rubble. Injured, starving. It shocks me, actually. And I speak to a lot of people. And I speak to both sides. I'm always willing to talk. I talk to liberals. And some of them are just completely nuts and they're useless. Some of them are just confused. I don't think they understand. They think like the right is the warmongers. Well, I'm definitely on the right. I'm ultra MAGA. I'm all the insults that the left throw at us. I want people to stop dying. I want these wars to end. I want clean water. I want clean air. I want bombs to stop dropping on innocent people. But I can assure you, those at the very top don't want that. Politics as usual. War makes money. War makes shitloads of money. Not for you, not for me. But for those scumbags at the top, and that's not about rich people. There's plenty of great rich people. It's not about money. You shouldn't hate somebody because they're rich. That's insane. Hate somebody because they're evil. The president of the United States right now, Joe Biden, not there's much left up here, but he's evil. The people that surround him are evil. Please make your voices heard. Please make your voices heard. Talk to your representatives. Let them know. Talk, text, call. Look, walk down the streets with signs, whatever makes you happy, but let them know you're not good with this. They're using your tax money to blow these people up. And if it continues, it could very well be in a neighborhood near you.
Never doubt, never tire, never become discouraged. Be not afraid.
How easy is that to say for him? Be not afraid. Be not afraid. As I ring a bell and ask for a lobster tail and a filet mignon at 3 a.m. in the morning and a glass of champagne while you're being blown to shreds in the streets, while your children are drafted and sent all over the world, never to come back. Be not afraid as I sit in my ivory tower. Be not afraid as I am sent to a bunker. It's so easy for him to say, be not afraid. Did that woman look afraid? She looked afraid to me. I'd be afraid too if I was standing where she was, wouldn't you? He's not afraid because he's not standing there, and he never will be.
A dictator bent on rebuilding an empire will never erase the people's love for liberty. Brutality will never grind down their will to be free. Ukraine will never be a victory for Russia, for free people refuse to live in a world of hopelessness and darkness. We will have a different...
Ukraine is not a free country. I don't believe we are at this point, frankly, which is horrifying for me to say. We are not a free country here in the United States. I don't believe in our elections. I don't believe any of this is a circus we're involved in. But I can assure you of this. Ukraine is not a free country. First of all, they've already canceled all their elections, and their elections were always manipulated and controlled, for the most part recently, by us, not their people. Believe me, don't believe me. You know what? For you who don't believe me, do a little digging. I can't spend 4 hours here explaining it. Ukraine is not a free country. This is absurd. Everything you're being told is absurd. And, we got to blow people up to bring them democracy. That's a dumbass, philosophy anyway, isn't it? I mean, to Does that really make sense to you? I know it doesn't.
Future, a brighter future, rooted in democracy and principle, hope and light, of decency and dignity, of freedom and possibilities. For God's sake, this man cannot remain in power.
Do you understand what he just said there? This man cannot remain in power. This man cannot remain in power. Do you understand what that means? That means he wants to overthrow the Russian government. Who the hell is he? Who the hell are we? And I mean, I love the United States of America. I love the United States for which it is supposed to stand. For which it is supposed to stand. I love the United States. I am a patriot. But we have no right to overthrow Russians, political figures, or anybody else. What, Italy pisses us off when we invade them and we overthrow them. What the hell's he talking about? And when you say he can't stay in power, that gives Putin no exit strategy, does it? No path to diplomacy. That means Putin has to win at all cost. That's what our president's telling him. That means war, 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 war. Holy shit. Listen to it. It'll be repeated a couple times here, and then we're going to wrap this up shortly.
This man cannot remain in power. This man cannot remain in power.
И то, что господин Трамп как кандидат в президенты заявляет о том, что он готов и хочет остановить войну на Украине, мы к этому относимся.
So there it is. What's Putin saying? What's Putin saying? Putin's the big evil guy, right? Maybe he's an evil guy. Probably is. Most world leaders are. You know, they call people a Putin apologist. I'm not a Putin apologist. I have nothing to do with Putin. I never met Putin. Putin don't give a shit about me. I don't give a shit about him. I give a shit about the millions and millions of lives that are being lost, though. But what's Putin saying here? He's saying that he takes it very seriously that Trump would like to end the war, see negotiations. For years, we heard that Trump was a warmonger. He would start World War III. Not one new war under Trump ever happened. Yes, I like Trump. I'm a Trump supporter. But I got news for you. If Trump screws everything up, I will be the first one to say it. Trump's asking for peace. Putin's saying he's open to it. Pick up the fucking phone and see what you can do. Isn't that what world leaders should do? Fly over and meet with him. If you can't work anything out, you can't work anything out, right? Sitting back and just supplying more and more weapons, bringing more and more nations into World War III, as opposed to the possibility of a phone call or maybe a face-to-face meeting between the two most powerful men in the world. Perhaps it could be resolved. Perhaps many children wouldn't die. It's almost speechless to me. Biden's proud. He said in a statement earlier, he hasn't spoken to Putin and he won't speak to him. I don't know if they're the exact words. I'm not going to say quote like Biden says. But he did say he has no reason to speak to him. I'm thinking there's a pretty damn good reason to speak to him, don't you think? You know, millions of lives being lost. I mean, the worst thing that can happen is it doesn't work out, right?
Вполне серьезно.
Say if you want Ukraine or Russia to win this war.
I want everybody to stop dying. They're dying, Russians and Ukrainians. I want them to stop dying. And I'll have that done. I'll have that done in 24 hours. I'll have it done. You need the power of the presidency to do it.
But you won't say that you want Ukraine to win.
You know what?
You know what was amazing there? Trump says something, I don't care who it was. If Biden said it, I'd support it because I'm not a partisan asshole. I don't lie for one side or the other. If Biden said, I want people to stop dying, I'd say, great, terrific. Trump says, I want people to stop dying. What does she do? What does that scumbag interviewer do? But you won't say if you want Ukraine to win. Is this a fucking football game? A soccer game? A baseball game? A boxing match? You want someone to win? Is there a win? Is there a win for the people who have lost their children? Is it about win? Are you betting on this? Is it like, hey, I'll give you, a 2-point spread on how many children die tomorrow? What a piece of shit she is, huh? The man just said something terrific. Love him or hate him. He said, I want people to stop dying. How can you argue with that? But she had something. But you won't say you want Ukraine to win. Why do you want Ukraine to win, by the way? What is there to win? What does win mean? Can you define winning? Does that mean all the Russian men and women and children die? What does that even mean? Who wins? No one wins. We've seen this time and time again. Who won in Vietnam? How many lives were lost in Vietnam? Who won? Who won? No one ever wins. There's no victors. There's just death and destruction. These liberals blow my mind. I'm old enough to remember the hippie liberals. I didn't like them very much. They were weird as shit. But they were about peace. These new liberals are about war. Maybe they don't even know it. Maybe most of them are so stupid they don't know what they're supporting. I don't know. But I know I would support peace. And listen, I'm all about going after your enemy if they come after you. I am not a peacenik. All right? But I don't want to see this shit. Do you want to see this shit? If we are attacked, we should strike back with everything we have. But we're not under attack. Ukraine, Russia can be ended with a conversation. People could stop dying. I would hope that everyone would support that. Let's stop the carnage. I don't know what else I can tell you guys. I do believe that there's a very substantial chance that the hospital was a false flag operation. I do believe we're going to see them here on our soil in the United States. The best thing I can tell you is you don't have to listen to me. Who the hell am I? Who gives a shit, right? Do your homework. Do your research. See what's true. See what makes sense. Judge it from your mind and your heart. Stop listening to these assholes that want a one world order. Protect yourself and protect your children. And the children of the world. I mean that sincerely. It breaks my heart to think that some little girl, like my little girl now is like 24 years old, 25 years old, not a little girl anymore. She still is to me. But I can imagine when she was 6 or 7 years old and these bombs were dropping all around her. My son, when he was 7 years old, and they would have looked at me and said, we'll be all right because we're with Dad. Well, you wouldn't, because you can't stop bombs, right? Mom and dad can do a lot of shit, but you can't stop a fucking bomb from falling on you. Maybe you and I can stop some bombs from falling on some other people's children. Well, like I said, I already did this damn video once, and I lost it, and I was tired when I did that because I had just gotten home. But, so hopefully this one worked out all right. Okay, I love you all, and Twisted is out.